easy road is tempting, isn't it? It offers comfort, ease, and the illusion of happiness. But here's the truth. It leads nowhere. The hard path? That's where greatness is forged. It's not crowded because most people fear what it demands. But every legend, every success story, and every unstoppable individual had one thing in common. They chose the hard path. So, what's your choice? The easy way that fades into regret, or the hard road that builds your legacy? Most people are stuck in the same cycle. Wake up, go through the motions, and avoid anything that feels uncomfortable. Why? Because we've been sold a lie, that life is supposed to be easy, and struggle is something to avoid at all costs. Society keeps whispering in our ears, "Take it easy, you've earned it. Find a shortcut. There's no need to work so hard. You deserve comfort and happiness without the grind." But let's ask an honest question. What has comfort ever given you? Sure, it feels good in the moment. Skipping that workout feels nice. Procrastinating on your dreams feels safe. But what happens later? What happens when you've taken the easy road so many times that it's all you know? Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. It leads to mediocrity, and mediocrity is where dreams go to die. The easy path is crowded because it's where everyone goes to avoid pain. It's the path of least resistance. But here's what no one tells you. When you take the easy road, you don't stay the same. You become weaker. Every time you avoid a challenge, every time you let fear or doubt stop you, you're shrinking. Your potential, your strength, your ambition, it all fades. Think about it. How many times have you chosen comfort over growth? Maybe you skipped that tough conversation because it felt awkward. Maybe you stayed in bed instead of chasing your fitness goals. Maybe you convinced yourself that tomorrow was a better day to start working on your dreams. Those weren't small decisions. They were moments where you gave up your power. And the more you choose comfort, the more powerless you feel. Comfort is seductive, but it's also a trap. It keeps you in a loop of short-term pleasure and long-term disappointment. Sure, scrolling through your phone or binge-watching TV might feel good now, but it won't feel good when you wake up one day realizing that your potential was wasted. The worst part? Comfort doesn't just stop your growth, it feeds your insecurities. When you avoid challenges, you never learn how to face your fears. When you stay in your comfort zone, you never discover your strength. And that's the trap. Comfort keeps you small, it keeps you weak, it keeps you stuck. Let me be brutally honest with you. Life is not easy. It's not fair. It doesn't hand out trophies just for showing up. If you want success, real success, you have to earn it. You have to fight for it. And that fight, it's not going to be easy. Most people avoid the hard path because they're afraid of pain. They think struggle is something to run from, not realizing that struggle is the key to everything they've ever wanted. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the path. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in discomfort. Strength isn't built in ease, it's built in adversity. The easy path feels good now, but what about later? Imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years, 20. You've chosen comfort your whole life. You avoided the challenges, the sacrifices, the grind. And now, you're stuck. Stuck in a life that feels small and unfulfilled. You look around and wonder, how did I end up here? That's the price of comfort. Regret. Regret for the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't chase, and the person you could have become. And here's the thing about regret. It doesn't go away. It stays with you. It eats at you. And it's far more painful than any struggle you'll face on the hard path. But here's the good news. It's not too late. You can still make a different choice. You can still choose the hard path. And when you do, you'll realize something incredible. Struggle doesn't break you, it builds you. Pain doesn't define you, it refines you. Let me paint you a picture. The hard path isn't pretty, it's not glamorous. It's filled with late nights, early mornings, and moments where you feel like giving up. It's lonely, it's exhausting, it's brutal. But here's the thing, it's worth it. Every challenge you face, Every obstacle you overcome, every time you push through the pain, you're becoming stronger, you're becoming better. The hard path isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about transforming into the person who's capable of achieving them. When you choose the hard path, you're choosing growth, you're choosing resilience, you're choosing to become the kind of person who doesn't back down from a challenge, who doesn't give up when things get tough. That's where greatness is born. Not in comfort, but in struggle. The hard path isn't for everyone. Most people will avoid it because they're too scared of what it demands. But if you're still here, listening, then I know you're different. You're not like the rest. You're ready to make the choice most people won't. So, ask yourself, what kind of life do you want? One that's easy but empty, or one that's hard but full of purpose? The choice is yours, but remember this. The easy path leads to regret. The hard path leads to domination. The easy road is tempting. It feels good to avoid resistance, to steer clear of struggle, and to take the path of least resistance. But the truth is, the easy road leads nowhere. It's crowded because everyone takes it, thinking it will bring them happiness or success. But in the end, it leaves them unfulfilled, stuck in mediocrity, wondering why they never achieved more. The hard path, on the other hand, is where greatness is forged. It's where the strong rise and the weak fall away. Every legend, every unstoppable force has one thing in common. They chose the hard path. Think about it. Every time you're faced with a challenge, you have two options. Take the easy way out, or embrace the difficulty and grow from it. Most people choose comfort. They skip the workout, avoid the tough conversations, and put off their dreams for someday. They tell themselves it's fine, that they'll get to it eventually, but deep down, they know the truth. Every time they choose comfort, they're giving up a piece of their potential. We live in a world that sells comfort as the ultimate goal. Society whispers in our ears, "Take it easy, you've earned it," or "There's no need to work so hard, find a shortcut instead." It's a seductive lie that keeps people small and stuck. The truth is, comfort doesn't lead to greatness. It doesn't make you stronger, faster, or better. It doesn't prepare you for life's challenges. Comfort is a trap, and the more you give into it, the weaker you become. Think back to all the times you chose comfort over challenge. Maybe you stayed in bed instead of chasing your fitness goals. Maybe you avoided taking a risk because it felt too scary. Maybe you let fear convince you that you weren't ready to start. Those moments weren't insignificant. They were pivotal. Every decision to avoid discomfort is a decision to stay the same. And staying the same means staying stuck. The easy path feels good in the moment, but what happens when the moment is over? What happens when you look back on your life and realize that you let your dreams slip away because you were too afraid to chase them? That's the thing about the easy path. It comes with a hidden cost. It robs you of your potential and leaves you with regret. Imagine waking up one day, years from now, and realizing you've wasted your life. You stayed in your comfort zone, avoided the hard work, and took the easy road every time. Now you're stuck in a life that feels small and empty. You see others living the life you once dreamed of, and you know, deep down, it could have been yours if you'd been willing to fight for it. That's the price of comfort. It feels good now, but it leaves you with nothing in the end. Life doesn't reward those who avoid pain. It rewards those who embrace it. Pain isn't the enemy. Struggle isn't something to run from. They are the tools that build greatness. The hard path doesn't just test you, it transforms you. Every obstacle you face, every setback you overcome, every time you push through the discomfort, you're growing stronger. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive challenges, but thrives in them. Most people avoid the hard path because they're afraid of what it will reveal. When you step onto the hard path, there's nowhere to hide. There are no excuses, no distractions, no one else to blame. It's just you and the truth. And the truth can be uncomfortable. It forces you to face your doubts, your fears, and your weaknesses. But that's exactly why the hard path is so powerful. It's not just about achieving your goals, it's about becoming the person who's capable of achieving them. Failure is part of the process. Struggle is part of the journey. And every time you fail, every time you struggle, you're one step closer to success. The hard path doesn't get easier, but you get stronger. You become more resilient, more focused, and more determined. The hard path teaches you what you're capable of, and it shows you that pain and discomfort aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of growth. Most people will never understand this. They'll spend their lives avoiding pain, avoiding challenges, and avoiding the hard path. And because of that, they'll never experience the transformation that comes with struggle. They'll never know what it feels like to truly dominate, to rise above the noise, and to become unstoppable. But you're different. If you've made it this far, it means you're ready to make the choice that most people won't. This moment is your opportunity. You can keep doing what you've always done, choosing comfort, avoiding challenges, and staying the same. Or you can decide, right here and now, to take the hard path. It won't be easy. It will demand more from you than you've ever given, but it will also give you more than you ever imagined. The hard path doesn't just lead to success, it leads to transformation. It's where you discover your strength, your power, and your potential. It's where you dominate. You might be thinking, the hard path sounds painful. Why would I willingly choose discomfort when the world is constantly offering me shortcuts? That's the question most people ask before they give up. But here's what they don't understand. The hard path is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Every struggle, every challenge, every ounce of discomfort is shaping you into someone stronger, sharper, and more capable. The hard path doesn't take from you. It gives to you, but only if you're strong enough to take it on. When you embrace the hard path, you begin to understand something profound. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't come from avoiding pain or staying in your comfort zone. Growth happens when you step into the fire, face the challenges head on, and refuse to back down. It's the pain, the pressure, the struggle that transforms you. Think about how diamonds are formed under immense heat and pressure. Without it, they're just rocks. The same goes for you. Without the struggle, you remain unshaped, untested, and unremarkable. But most people never realize this. They spend their lives avoiding the fire because they think it will burn them. They don't see that the fire is what makes them stronger. They don't understand that the challenges they're avoiding are the very things that would prepare them for the life they dream of. They look at successful people and think, it must have been easy for them. They must have had some kind of advantage. But what they don't see is the grind, the pain, the sacrifices that went into achieving that success. The truth is, successful people don't have it easy. They just have the courage to take the hard path. Take a moment to think about your own life. What would happen if you stopped avoiding the hard path? What if, instead of running from pain, you leaned into it? What if, instead of seeing struggle as a setback, you saw it as a stepping stone? Imagine what you could achieve if you stopped being afraid of discomfort and started embracing it. The hard path teaches you lessons that no shortcut ever could. It shows you your limits and then pushes you past them. It reveals your weaknesses, but also gives you the tools to turn them into strengths. It's where you learn resilience, discipline, and focus. These are not things you can buy or borrow. They're things you earn through effort, struggle, and perseverance. And once you've earned them, no one can take them away from you. Here's the thing about struggle. It's not just about enduring pain. It's about becoming someone who thrives in it. When you choose the hard path, you're choosing to become the kind of person who doesn't back down from a challenge. You're choosing to become someone who sees obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow. This mindset shift is what separates winners from losers. It's what separates those who merely survive from those who dominate. Think of every challenge as a test. Are you willing to show up and do the work even when it's hard? Are you willing to push through the discomfort, even when it feels like you're about to break? Because here's the truth. Every time you face a challenge and push through it, you're building a new version of yourself. a version that's stronger, more focused, and more unstoppable than ever before. And the more challenges you face, the stronger you become. Let's get something straight. The hard path isn't going to get easier. It's always going to test you. It's always going to demand more from you. But that's the beauty of it. The hard path doesn't change. You do. Each time you step into the struggle, you come out stronger. Each time you face a challenge, you build resilience. Each time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And that's the secret. It's not about making life easier. It's about making yourself stronger. Think of the people you admire, the ones who have achieved greatness in their lives. They didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They didn't become successful by staying in their comfort zones. They chose the hard path. They embraced the grind. They showed up every day, even when it was painful, even when it felt like they were getting nowhere. And eventually, all that effort, all that struggle paid off. That's how greatness is built. Not in a single moment, but in the countless moments where you choose to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. But let's be clear, the hard path isn't just about achieving external success. It's about what happens to you on the inside. When you choose the hard path, you're not just building a career, a business, or a dream. You're building yourself. You're becoming someone who is unshakable, someone who can face any challenge and come out stronger on the other side. That's the real reward of the hard path. It's not the trophies, the recognition, or the achievements. It's the person you become along the way. So how do you embrace the hard path? You start by changing your mindset. Stop seeing pain and discomfort as things to avoid. Start seeing them as opportunities to grow. When you're faced with a challenge, don't run from it. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Remember, the hard path isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day and giving your best, even when it feels like you're failing. And here's the thing, you're going to fail. It's part of the process, but failure isn't the end. It's the beginning. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to come back stronger. The hard path doesn't punish you for failing. It rewards you for trying. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you struggle, the more you grow. That's how you win, not by avoiding failure, but by embracing it and using it as fuel to keep going. When you choose the hard path, you're choosing to be different. You're choosing to rise above the noise, to stand out from the crowd, and to become someone who doesn't settle for average. It's not an easy choice, but it's the right one. And when you look back on your life, you'll realize it was the only choice worth making. The hard path isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It's the path that leads to greatness, not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. So the question is simple. Are you ready to embrace it? Are you ready to stop making excuses and start taking action? The choice is yours. Choose the hard path and watch yourself transform into someone unstoppable. The hard path is not for the faint of heart. It's brutal, unrelenting, and often feels like a never-ending uphill climb. But here's the thing. It doesn't break you. It builds you. Every struggle you face, every ounce of pain you endure, is making you stronger. It's sharpening you into the kind of person who can handle anything life throws at you. And that is the ultimate reward. Not just achieving your goals, but transforming into someone unstoppable. When you embrace the hard path, you stop looking for excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. You take full responsibility for your life because you realize that everything you need is already inside you. That's the power of the hard path. It forces you to confront yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in doing so, it gives you the chance to rewrite your story. This is where the transformation happens. At first, the hard path feels like punishment. It's exhausting. It demands more from you than you think you can give. But as you keep going, something incredible begins to happen. You start to change. The things that once felt impossible now feel manageable. The pain that once seemed unbearable becomes a source of strength. You stop running from challenges and start seeking them out because you know they're making you better. It's not just about building external success. It's about building internal power. When you choose the hard path, you're choosing to develop resilience, discipline, and focus. You're training your mind to stay sharp under pressure, your body to endure the grind, and your spirit to rise above the noise. These are the qualities that set you apart from the rest. These are the traits of a dominator. But here's the key. The hard path is not a one-time decision. It's not something you choose once and then coast through. It's a choice you have to make every single day. Every time you wake up in the morning, every time you face a challenge, every time you're tempted to take the easy way out, you have to choose. And it's not always going to be easy. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when the grind feels unbearable, and when the goal seems too far away. But those are the moments that matter most. Those are the moments that define you. Ask yourself this: who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who gives up when things get hard, who settles for less because it's easier, and who spends their life wondering what could have been? Or do you want to be someone who rises to the challenge, who refuses to back down, and who dominates every obstacle in their path? The choice is yours. But know this: the hard path leads to transformation, and transformation leads to greatness. When you choose the hard path, you're not just working toward a goal. You're becoming the kind of person who achieves goals. You're building the mindset, the habits, and the character of someone who doesn't just survive but thrives. That's the real power of the hard path. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about who you become along the way. Let's talk about the results of embracing the hard path. First, you gain clarity. The distractions, excuses, and noise that used to hold you back start to fade away. You become laser-focused on what matters most. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You realize that the opinions of others don't matter, and that the only voice you need to listen to is your own. This clarity is like a superpower. It allows you to cut through the nonsense and focus on what truly matters. Second, you gain confidence. Not the kind of confidence that comes from fake affirmations or empty praise, but real, unshakable confidence. The kind of confidence that comes from knowing you've faced the worst and come out stronger. When you've endured the grind, when you've pushed through the pain, and when you've overcome challenges that seemed impossible, you realize that nothing can stop you. This confidence isn't just about feeling good, it's about knowing, deep down, that you're capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Third, you gain control. When you choose the hard path, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You stop waiting for someone else to save you, fix you, or give you what you need. You realize that you are in control of your life. Every decision, every action, every choice is yours to make. And with that control comes freedom, the freedom to create the life you want on your terms. The hard path also teaches you patience. In a world that's obsessed with instant gratification, the hard path reminds you that real success takes time. It's not about quick wins or overnight results. It's about putting in the work, day after day, and trusting the process. This patience is what separates the quitters from the winners. It's what allows you to keep going, even when progress feels slow, because you know that every step forward is bringing you closer to your goal. But perhaps the most important result of the hard path is the impact it has on others. When you choose the hard path, you become a role model. You inspire others to rise to the challenge, to push through their own struggles, and to become the best versions of themselves. Your journey shows them what's possible, and your transformation gives them hope. That's the ripple effect of the hard path. It doesn't just change you, it changes the world around you. So where do you start? You start by making a decision to stop making excuses, to stop waiting for the right time, and to stop running from the challenges in front of you. A decision to embrace the hard path, no matter how painful or difficult it may seem. Because the truth is, the hard path isn't just the best choice. It's the only choice if you want to live a life of purpose, power, and domination. Start small. Choose one area of your life where you've been avoiding the hard path. Maybe it's your health, your career, or your relationships. Whatever it is, commit to taking one step forward today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, show yourself that you're capable of doing hard things, and then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. Keep showing up, keep pushing, and keep choosing the hard path, one step at a time. The hard path isn't easy. It was never meant to be, but it's worth it. Every struggle, every setback, every moment of pain is a step closer to the person you're meant to be. So don't wait, don't hesitate. Don't let fear hold you back. Choose the hard path, embrace the struggle, and dominate. The question now is simple. Will you step up? Will you rise to the challenge? Or will you let this moment pass you by? The choice is yours. But remember this, the hard path doesn't just lead to success. It leads to transformation. It leads to a life of power, purpose, and greatness. So, make the choice. Choose the hard path and become unstoppable. Are you ready to embrace the hard path and transform your life? Hit that like button, share this message, and subscribe for more powerful content, because your journey starts now.